Hey girlfriend, welcome back to the channel today. I'm so glad you're here. I am here to talk to you today about the 6 things you need to do to create 6 or 7 figure success in your business. I feel like the foundation of sales and business never changes no matter how much money that you earn. I've been an online coach for over 8 years now. I specialize in marketing, sales, and branding for online coaches. So if you're an online coach, let's go ahead and get into today's video. So I've got my notes pulled up here because if you know anything about me, I will definitely get to rambling. So we are going to have 6 things that we're going to be talking about today, and I'm going to pull them up right here so we can stay on task, okay? So number 1 is creating a simple DMO or daily method of operation. Here's the thing. You may be like me. When I started my first business, I was a full-time working mother. I had a clinical job working as a registered dietitian. That's my background. And my husband was a full-time coach and teacher, gone a lot. And I had to work off a system and a schedule. So if you're just like throwing spaghetti at the wall, just throwing the paintbrush at the canvas, honey, and you don't know what you're doing, that's problem number 1, especially if you're launching a business. Now, if you're in the growth or scale phase of a business, I have an amazing team now that helps me, and you may as well. But even then, you have to have your own daily method of operation, and your team has to have their own daily method of operation with key performance indicators. So that is step number 1. Step number 2 is please stop focusing on vanity. I literally just hit 10K followers on my Instagram, and it was like a 4-year process. But yes, I literally stopped focusing on the likes and the vanity, and because half the time, if you notice, like, it's not even the right people. What the heck? Like, stop focusing on if the follower count is growing, if your bank account is not growing. And that was really the biggest turning point for me when I said, Sarah, your bank account continues to grow. I went from being stuck at 10K months to being stuck at 30K months to hitting consistent 100+ K months every month for the last 3+ years. And I just got to 10K followers. So I think so many times you're focusing on the vanity stuff too. And you may hear this over and over, but have you really heard from someone that has walked the walk that didn't get to fast following? Have you ever heard from someone like me that didn't pay for followers, didn't pay for likes, didn't pay for credibility? I worked from the ground up for this, and you can too. So just remember that it's really easy to get sucked into that vanity cycle of how many followers, how many likes, etc. But you can't convert those followers or those likes or those comments if they're from bots or fake accounts. So keep that in mind. That's number 2. Number 3 is stop focusing on just your new followers. How about your OG followers that have been around for a while? I call those your super fans. They may not be a client now, but maybe they will in the future. But I feel like every new follower is the chance to make a connection, make a client, or potentially get your content shared or get content ideas. Every new follower, every new connection is important, okay? So stop focusing on new, because there's a lead cycle, right? Like a new follower, unless they're just like crazy gung-ho and they come in already knowing that they're going to hire you, the likelihood of converting that follower really quickly is slim to none. So you need to focus on your oldies but goodies while you're building your new. That's something that we focus on in my company, and my team understands the lead cycle. You too need to understand the lead cycle, because taking someone from cold to warm to like super boiling hot and sold is a process. And I don't feel like many entrepreneurs talk about the lead cycle enough. It is something I focus on heavily with my clients. But to go from cold to like clients is a lengthy 3 to 6 month plus process sometimes. I've got clients in my coaching program right now that followed me for 16 months. And they're doing amazing in my program, but it just took them taking that leap. And I've had other clients follow me for 2 weeks and be all in. But stop focusing on new and forgetting about your old OG followers, because those are the people that don't need convincing to buy from you. And I don't care what place in business you are, that is super important, okay? Let's move on to number 4. Nurture those likes, comments, and story watchers. Don't you think people that if they're not a bot and if they're not a fake follower, but they are liking, they're commenting, and they're watching your stories every day, don't you think that those are your warmest leads? start nurturing those people, start building a connection. You can't keep waiting for people to just passively click your link and buy. I don't care what kind of coach you are. Like I said, we earn multi-7 figures a year. I had another previous 6-figure coaching business, and I've never been able to just wait for someone to click a link. I've got clients in my launch program seriously making 6 figures without a website. If they were waiting on someone to click a link, they'd have a problem, right? So nurture those likes, comments, and story watchers as long as they are your ideal client, and watch that grow into sales. Okay, tip number 5, you must create demand, authority, and curiosity. I'm just going to be real. It took me a little while. I had to put my Cardi B alter ego on, the nails, the lashes, and all of this. I just don't do as much cussing as she does. But I always say, pull out your alter ego, be you times 2, because the bold bird gets the freaking worm. Okay. If you are not creating demand and being the top person in your niche, you're probably going to lose sales to someone else. So create authority, create curiosity, make people be so interested in working with you that they can't wait to get in your program. Now, it took me a little while to build this, and it takes my clients a little while to build this. But if you don't feel immediately confident, even if you're an introvert, you know, that old saying, fake it till you make it. I don't know if I align with that, because I want you to be you. But sometimes we do have to step into the boldest version of us as fast as possible. People will buy from bold, confident sellers. If you want your followers to give up their dollars, now we're rhyming over here. If you want your followers to give up their dollars, you are going to have to get more bold, create authority, and get out there and tell people why they should choose you over the next 50,000 people that are doing the same thing as you. Okay? Demand, authority, curiosity. Now, tip number 6 in today's episode is going to be all about creating a sales follow-up system. Here's my motto, and I want you to write this down. Follow up till they sign up, honey. I have never in 8 years had someone tell me, Sarah, I'm never going to work with you. I think so many times you guys think that just because someone said no once, that they're going to say no forever. I've had that happen very few and far between. Most people will say no initially. They've gathered the information, but then they have to let their problem brew a little bit. They have to set in your crock pot. They have to see, well, what are you going to do? How many people are you going to help? 1 month down the road, 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, they're going to be like, yes, I'm ready to sign up if you follow up. If you don't, guess what they're going to do? Yeah, you guessed it. They're going to go to the next person that took the time to nurture a relationship, that took the time to answer their 52 questions. Oh, honey, trust me. I get 52 questions in that DM sometimes before someone signs up, but it doesn't get on my nerves. It's a part of the process. If it gets on your nerves, you probably shouldn't be in the coaching and or sales industry space, because it doesn't matter what sort of sale you're doing. Likely it takes a little bit of follow-up and a little bit of time. So have a system for you, or if you're earning enough money, where you have a team. Like some of my girls that come in and they have 20, 25K months rolling in, we are then developing them a sales team, a lead generation team. And those systems are duplicating over into their team. So whether you're a new business owner or someone that's a little seasoned with a team, if you don't have a follow-up system and have that motto, follow up till they sign up, it's going to be a problem. So hopefully you enjoyed today's 6 reasons and tips that you should have to make 6 figures in your online business. And I want you to stick around here on the channel. So make sure that you click the follow button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, whatever it is you got to do, so you don't miss a video from me. We're going to be putting out 4 videos a month. We'll have all the details down in the show notes for my website and my coaching program, as well as my Instagram. And I will see you in the next video.